мікрофон, one window і згорнути. Так. Все. Hello. 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 Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello. Good, 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 good. So, okay. I played in Magnus tournament during last time. I played in Chess.com Global, so I have a lot of material to show, new material. Well, and for today, I decide to show my game against world champion Magnus Carlsen. So I played with white. So very strange that I played this game in enough good level because before this I lost terrible against Irigaishi, so in incredible ways. It was painful for me, but okay. So I have Magnus as my opponent. I have white, so I played d4. Knight f6, c4, e6, knight c4, bishop b4. Knight c3, bishop b4. Well, so of course Nimzo Indian. This position everybody knows, but I want to attract your attention. About Erigaisi, okay, maybe next time I will show also my game against Erigaisi. I'm fine, thank you, and I'm happy that I have many followers. So my wife today told me that during last months I was not so active in Twitch like before. So I promised her, and I promise now to my spectators to improve this and to do my report more often. And I start today. So I want to attract your attention that in this position there are two grandmasters, not quite strong, but not so famous, but they are very good experts in Nimzo India with white. I mean Vadim Milov, who currently lives in Switzerland, in Biel, and Sergei Volkov from Saransk. Okay, queen d2 maybe not the best way here, but okay, queen c2 is also queen c2, of course, it's possible. Дуже дякую, що ви за мене вболівали. Ну, не дуже мені вдалося вчора з Венслі. Ну нічого, ну наступного разу буде краще. So I want to attract your attention to repertory of Vadim Milov and Sergei Volkov, who plays both lines e3 and f3 in this position. So I tried to follow their example. So I played 2 times e3 against Keimer and against Carlsen, and I played f3 against Wensley So. So, and if you want to be prepared very well against Nimzo Indian, I strongly recommend you to follow games of Sergei Volkov and Vadim Milov. So I played e3 against Wensley. I played f3, and he played very sharp line. This d6, but okay, it's a different story. Okay, so I will give my wife your best regards and your Your thanks. So knight g2, castle. Sorry, b takes c4 he played, and after knight f4 g5, it was my against Wensley. So, and after this, e takes d5. I took on d5. Also possible to take here if d4 is a3 with very sharp game. Idea that black cannot go bishop a5 because bishop f6 and queen a4 check. Okay. Okay, but my game against Wensley, it's another story. So against Magnus, I played e3. Also, I played same line against Kamer. Kamer played castle. I played knight g2. Of course, another very popular lines are bishop d3 and bishop d2 as well. Okay, so, but I played knight g2, Kamer played rook e8, a3, bishop f8, knight g3, d5, bishop e2, so b6, c takes d5, e takes d5, and we played this position. Well, but Magnus played c5. Now it's point of main point of c5, and if white plays standard bishop d3, knight c6, knight f3, black can play bishop takes c3 and d6, and it is a good idea to play this system without short castle for black, because for example in this structure very often black using plan king d7, king c7, not immediately but very often. Or, for example, h3, h6, bishop e3, b6. Okay, so this, and then again, king d7, king c7 is very popular plan for black in such type of position. So if black wants to play this line, it's better to use without castle than, for example, in this position. Knight c6, castle, bishop takes c3, d6. This is playable as well, but now black is castle. They have less choice with their plans. Any online tournaments? Unfortunately, I will not play this month because I didn't qualify in first eight, and also I lost against Wensley, so I didn't qualify uh, to next match. So I would be happy to continue to play, but okay. So what can I do now? Enjoy with Twitch. So why didn't Black play d5 instead of d4? I don't understand. What you mean d5 instead of d4? Instead of d6. Okay, d5 is possible. Yes, of course, it's very popular position. But okay, in this move order, White has quite pleasant game after c takes d5, e takes d5, d takes c5. If bishop takes c5, h3, and then b3, bishop b2. So this move order is not such a popular. If black wants to play d5, usually they doing without knight c6 to play d5 here, and now if white using this, black has idea to play knight bd7 and take with knight on on c5. So, and if castle, black has several plans. So for example, this is possible, favorite line of Anatoly Karpov, all, and very popular now it's knight c6 after a3, bishop a5. I recommend to see games of Hrant Melkumyan, Armenian Grandmaster. If it's scary, difficult to say. So it depends of self-confidence at all. So for example, I played against Wensley. Okay, of course, he's strong opponent. Maybe I can tell that I was scary against him, but it wasn't totally true. Maybe more correct that after some bad days in previous tournaments, I lost my self confidence, and because of this, I felt some inconvenient. But okay, so this line I recommend to see games of Grant Melkumian. Why I played? Okay, yes, I had. Okay, so it was comedy first game against Wensley. So he played Queen E3 instead Queen C4. Okay, but now I will focus much against. Not much game against Magnus. My match against Wensley, it's different story. So c5 knight g2 I played. So bishop d3 is possible, of course. A3 is possible. Okay, a3 it's positionally risky line because white has weak pawns, but okay, it's complicated. Uh, and so I played knight g2, and now white has simple idea to play a3 and take with his knight, and what to do with black. If d5, for example, a3, this is a very pleasant position. So this. If black is not taking c5 is positionally good for white. If black is taking, this is theoretical line, and according to theory, this line is more pleasant for white. If, for example, f3, white, if, for example, b6, white plays bishop b7, bishop d3, and then rook a d1, queen h3, this plan. And if, for example, knight d5, bishop takes d5, and queen b3, and here not so easy for black to equalize the game. Well, so b6 idea that after a3, bishop a5. So pawn c5 is protected. Favorite line of my neighbor Oleg Romanishin. Another similar line is d6 here after a3, bishop a5. Same idea that not to take on c3 and to have c5 pawn protected. And now, for example, white has rook b1, if knight a6, b4. It's possible. Of course, it's not only option for white, but it's possible. So takes. Obviously, black cannot take with knight because after this queen a4, they are losing the piece. So better to take with sorry. So knight takes b4 is mistake. So better to take with bishop and play this position. So rook takes b4, knight takes b4, queen a4 check, knight c6, d5, bishop d7, d takes c6, bishop takes c6. Complicated games. So I don't know who is better here. And okay, I didn't check database. Probably there are some games from this position, but okay, it's very unclear position. So I think roughly equal. Of course, white has other possibilities as well, but Magnus played. So only what I remember that Serbian famous grandmaster Gligoric played rook b1 with idea knight a6 before, but I don't remember exactly what was how this game was continued. In person chess tournaments? What do you mean in person chess tournaments? Strange question. I don't understand. Well, so b6 a3. Over the board, I want. I will discuss tomorrow. This, I want to play very much, but there are some problem to leave Ukraine at the moment. Okay, it's nothing connected with chess. Okay, so bishop a5. And I played d5. As I explained it in previous video, white cannot immediately use strange position of black bishop and reach advantage by rook b1 and queen a4 because black has bishop b7, after b4 bishop c6, and after b5 bishop e4. Rook is attacked, and if rook goes, knight b8, and black is totally okay. Blitz game against Kramnik. I played too many games Blitz against Kramnik. I don't know which of this game you mean. So, okay, White has a big choice now, and I played d5. Tomorrow again, okay, I will think about this. I'm not promise you now, but maybe. So at least I cannot tell that I will not do it. So I will think about this. Probably I will do it. Yes, it's problem. So I played d5. What else is possible? Okay, many moves. For example, g3. It's one of idea in this position. So white wants bishop g2, and after bishop b7, d5. If e takes d5, bishop g2. So it's another possibility. Black has b5 option. There's a lot of theory, of course, here. So, but I played d5. So my plan is more or less f3, e4 to push. And if he is attacking bishop a6, it's probably not so good because rook b1. And now black has no thanks for subscription. It's support of my channel is very important for me. And now black is in big trouble because they have no a6 square for his knight. And, b4 is coming, so what to know? Okay, bishop c3, it's big concession. White is clearly better. So bishop a6 doesn't work. And so he played castle. And now I played rook b1. Of course, totally possible to play f3. And if compare so such type of position, for example, again, if bishop a6, rook b1 is strong, this idea of bishop c4, b4. So this position, it's interesting against positional claim f3. Okay, f3, I'm fighting for the central square, but there is very similar position from another variation. I mean f3 immediately, c5, d5. Okay, b5 played Wensley, but I mean something like this. e4, castle, knight g2, something like this. b5, for example, knight g3, a6. So bishop e2, more or less normal position. Many games was played. It's, but if compare all both of these lines, we can see that if white play this, very likely that white will play e3, e4 as soon as possible. And very likely that black will play b6. So it will be same position because white losing tempi for e3 and e2, e3 and e3, e4. And black is losing tempi for b7, b6 and b6, b5. Instead, e2, e4, and b7, b5 in other line. So this is possible. This, knight g3, a6, same position. For example, rook e8, castle, knight b7, many games was played. So I decide to play rook b1 firstly, to provoke him to play knight a6. Because after knight a6, anyway he will play b5, but with knight on a6 he cannot defend his pawn b5 with pawn with a7, a6. Thanks for subscription. Is that everything okay with chat? Dingley and Nepomniachtchi, I don't know when they will play it, so okay, it's another topic. So knight a6 he played, only logical move. He defending against b4. So f3. Now I want to play this plan e4 and so played b5. Now I played king f2 firstly. e4 immediately is possible as well, of course. Looks like very logical alternative. Maybe even more precise than king f2 simultan. I'm not planning to play simultan. So e4 logical alternative, but I decide to play king f2, immediately attack the pawn. Rook b8, he defended. e4, d6, bishop e6. More or less standard moves, and now he played knight d7. Of course, black has many possibilities, but c4, that's problem with rook b8, that he cannot easy play c4 because his pawn a7 is hanging. Also, who knows, maybe it's possible, for example, to play this idea queen b6, maybe, but I don't know if it's correct idea or not. He played knight d7. Okay, it looks like he's preparing for f5 for some moment. Okay, my reaction looks logical. Knight g3. I was thinking about g4 as well, but it's from my king. It's risky, but maybe possible. Yes, I can have attack, but firstly I need to think about finishing my development. So knight g3 looks like logical move, and he played c4. Of course, now to take on a7 looks strange because after bishop b6 and check, my knight already on g3, so only move is king e1, and this position doesn't look attractive for me because I have problem with my king. Knight c5 is coming, and knight e5 probably. I can never castle because my king moves. So bishop takes a7 looks like very dubious. Black wants to play knight c5 or bishop b6, but I played principally b4. So if he is taking on b3, I am ready to take on b5 with knight. If he is not taking, okay, his knight has no square c5. Okay, it was totally playable to play this, but okay. This position, I think, it's uh, uh, it's playable for both. For example, queen d2, normal move. Knight e5, for example. If with idea f5, I can just take and play queen e3. It's quite a comfortable position. This more or less was my plan against bishop b6. So he played c takes b3, knight takes b5, and now black has trouble with their pawns because a7 is hanging, d6 is hanging, b3 is hanging. And okay, so computer gives some complicated line. We started with knight a5, and according to computer position is equal, but this is very complicated. But Magnus played queen f6, dubious move from computer evaluation, also from human evaluation, but now my choice was really strange. So okay, he played queen f6. What is idea of this move? So knight e5 and knight g4. So this yes, and okay, and I took on a7. It's not natural choice because I have better structure and I need to coordinate my pieces. So the most normal move was knight f5. Of course, I have seen this move to improve knight, to attack d6, and also defend against idea knight e5, knight g4. So why I didn't play this, I think because I have some problem with my self confidence after my game against Eric. I want to explain. So uh, I considered knight f5 during the game, but knight e5, so I cannot take with this knight because knight g4, so very natural to take with another knight, and my illusion that was that he plays g6, knight takes c8, rook takes c8, so, and I decide that black is okay here because rook c2 is coming, but this is total blackout. Black is not okay because I'm just taking here, and he cannot play rook c2 because I'm just taking. Rook is not protected, and after queen takes a6, knight e7, I'm just winning. So to see such a simple variation was enough to play knight f5, or even was better to play knight f5 without thinking by intuition, because such a move hardly can be bad. So of course knight f5 I should play, and and I'm much better here. This is computer. Okay, computer giving something like this. Black has some tactical chances because of my king on e3, but objectively, white is clearly better here, and this is very simple move. So there are no serious explanation why I didn't play it. So okay, if to be honest, maybe the most correct explanation it's influence of previous game. So because it wasn't really difficult to see that g6 idea doesn't work. So if this again I can take and knight e7 checks. Yes, so I took and Magnus immediately played knight c7, c5. So he is ready to give exchange. He wants to have bishop on b6 and disturb my king. So of course according to computer, something like this, it's good for white, but in practical game, it's I don't recommend to play in such a style. But okay, so now it's not easy for white anyway. So I played queen d4, but after takes he played rook a8, and now I have problem with diagonal, with my bishop. For example, if knight b5, he can consider bishop a6, or even takes and bishop b6 can be considered with many tactical threats. Probably it doesn't work totally, but it's really dangerous for me. So I took on c5, he took, again bishop b6, unpleasant threat, so I need to do. Yes, this game was 122 moves. So bishop b6 is very unpleasant threat. I have no time to take his pawn. For example, if I'm taking bishop b6, what to do with my king? It's a big problem. So I decide to play knight f5, at least to prepare g3 square for my king. So he played bishop b6, king g3. So I want to coordinate my pieces, so to play bishop c4 somehow, and not okay, not so easy, of course. Knight takes f5. Now I want to take on d6. Of course, now only black can be better. For example, after simple this, bishop c7, e5, takes, rook d8. Okay, but now it looks like drawish somehow, rook e1 or rook c1. So but of course, white cannot even dream about advantage. But okay, so Magnus playing in more ambitious style, so he doesn't want to give a pawn d6. So I played bishop c4, rook takes a3, rook takes d. Yes, h3 also possible, but h3 I'm losing. So queen f6. Yeah. Okay. For example, knight takes a7. It's possible. Knight e5 and h3. Yes, it's maybe possible, but not so active as knight f5 at least. And maybe with pawn on h3, black. I don't know what black has also. My idea was queen h4 if knight c8, rook c8. This rook probably. Yes, with idea bishop takes a6, rook c2 check. Not another rook, because if another rook, bishop a6, doesn't work. Rook is hanging again, but rook bc8 is I cannot take because rook c2. If I'm taking on b3, knight c5, it's unpleasant pin. But okay, after queen h4, maybe f4 is possible. So it's complicated game somehow. But f5, what is this? Okay, maybe it's good for white anyway after queen h5, but it's complicated. So okay, maybe this idea was possible as well, and maybe it was better than bishop takes a7. But I'm still thinking that knight f5 was the most simple, the most natural move, and my position was after knight f5 was very promising. Дуже дякую за те, що ви слухаєте мій канал. Дуже дякую за коментарі. Буду продовжувати. Отже, розказую. Значить, bishop takes a7. Окей, dubious move. I will put sign that this is dubious move. So now rook fd8, I'm suffering because I am losing a3 pawn and I cannot take d6 pawn. So what can I do? I am just trying to coordinate my pieces. Rook takes a3, rook hd1. So He played g6, very natural. Also, probably other move was possible, like king f8, for example, because okay, but now bishop takes b3, and if, for example, rook b3, knight takes b3, rook b1, rook b8, rook b3, bishop f2, rook takes b3, knight takes d6, this endgame. Only white can be better. Okay, I think it should be draw, but white is stronger here, so king f8 is too slow because of this tactical point. So he played g6, and now I principally played knight e7. Knight d4 looks natural, but there is a problem. After knight d4, he has rook a4. My pieces are hanging, so bishop takes b3 only move. He is taking on e4 and rook takes d4. Okay, objectively it should be draw, but to defend such a position against Magnus, it's okay. Against not only against Magnus, against any strong grandmaster, it's difficult. So I decide to play knight e7, king g7, knight c6. So my idea was to play rook a8, of course, I expected, because now important that I have no bishop takes b3. He can simply take, and after this, he has rook a3. And everything is protected. I am piece down, so rook a8. So my idea was to play a5, but and create contraplay with d6, but okay, according to computer, here black is much better. And from a human point of view too, black is ready to give his bishop, but they have other pieces very good coordinated, and computer is good calculator. So, but okay, anyway, rook d8, it's not difficult choice for Magnus. He played terrible mistake, rook c8, and he gave me bishop takes b3. Very simple. So, and what can I say? So I took on b3. Variations are very, very simple. If rook takes on b3, rook takes and rook b1. I am taking piece back with excellent winning chances, or if knight takes b3, rook d3. Same idea. So after bishop takes b3, okay, I have pawn up. I have a better position. So what we could imagine here? So normally, okay, well, of course, game is not over, but it's not possible imagine that white can lost in this position. So okay, maybe with tough defense, black can defend somehow, but imagine that it's possible to lost. It's impossible. I don't remember. Probably I had 2 minutes here. So I don't remember. Yes, difficult for black to play, but and I'm sure, I'm totally sure. So what is difference between me against and Magnus? So if imagine this position, I am black, so Magnus is white. Imagine situation. So Magnus playing knight c6, and instead of correct rook a8 with excellent position for black, I am playing rook c8. So after bishop b3, okay, I'm totally collapsed, and Magnus will beat me easy. Not only Magnus, many strong players could beat me easily in this position, because I'm in bad mood. Wow! But Magnus start to play incredibly strong. So bishop d8, first move, not so obvious. But here, first bad sign for me. Is it everything good with chat? It's everybody can hear me well and see me. Okay, so what is important uh, uh, to explain this position? So something happened with my head here. I played bishop c2, not because bishop c2 is bad move. Of course, I would prefer to play bishop c4, more active position, but knight takes e4 unfortunately coming. So uh, I didn't make such a primitive blunder, but it's very strange that during the game I even didn't consider knight takes d8. This was very very logical choice. It's not that I decide that bishop c2 giving me more chances than knight takes d8, but knight takes d8 I didn't consider at all, so it's terrible. So I didn't consider that knight can capture his bishop, and it was practically very wise choice because okay, if black cannot take my bishop, so now knight b7 he is totally losing. So only a reasonable move rook takes d8, and now bishop c2. Okay, I have healthy pawn up. So black has no hint for compensation. Okay, they can play something like rook a2, but well, rook bc1. I'm preparing for bishop b1. So black is suffering. I can consolidate my pieces. Of course, it's very far from win. So black has good knight, but okay, black is suffering. Of course, he can play rook b8 and something like this. If e5 d takes e5 is possible, I can play bishop d3. Okay, somewhere rook endgame, but, but well, it okay, but now rook b3 also. So not so simple. So he find this fantastic resource, bishop d8 after losing the pawn. So okay, so this bishop c2, rook a2. So from practical point, not so simple yet because black has active pieces. They can create some threats. Okay, but objectively, white has good winning chances. Okay, but I didn't see this as option. I played bishop c2. Bishop c4 not possible because knight takes e4 check. I already explained this. Of course, bishop c4 would be more natural, more active, but doesn't work. I should protect my pawn. So bishop c2, well, bishop f6. And now, okay, so I have pawn up. There are no direct threats. But you can see that all black pieces are situated very well. And my knight on c6 looks like strong, but probably it's weakness of my position, because if a game will be in king's flank or in the center, my knight can be a little bit out of play. Of course, much stronger would have knight on b5 probably, attack to d6. But okay, so he played bishop f6. Mm, trying to consolidate my pieces. So I played rook d2, rook e8, rook e2. Looks like logical because now my pawn e4 is firmly protected, so I can play bishop d1 somewhere. But rook c3. He is ready to play rook a2. So in this interesting position, I want to make 10 minutes break. And I will come back soon. So I'm here again. Everybody can hear me and see me. Good. So he played rook c3. Okay, somewhere he wants rook a2 probably. So I played bishop d1. And he played h5. So not so easy to play because my knight is out of play. It's, it's the problem. So I would be happy to have my knight on b5. But how to reach this? Rook d2, unfortunately, I cannot play because knight takes e4. If rook b4, rook a1, unpleasant. So I played king f2. So I decide to go back from the checks. Maybe h4 was idea, but okay, it's not easy to play h4. So I played king f2, and now he played knight d3 check. I don't know why. H4 also logical, by the way, to prepare H3 in some moment. Okay, but maybe rook c2 is possible. For me, it's, I cannot play rook c2 immediately because knight takes e4, of course. So king f2, but now rook c2 is possible to consider. Of course, I would be happy to exchange pairs of rooks, and if if rook a2, I have knight b4. Of course, black has excellent drawish chances here, but at least they have no active play anymore. But okay, so h4 was possible, but he played knight d3, okay, king f1, h4. So now I played rook c2. I'm trying to realize my plan, exchange rooks. I'm not sure that this is the best here. Okay, maybe g3 was logical ideas. Simply not waste time and try to prepare f4 and e5. And, I don't see how black can utilize tactical weakness on f3. So maybe it was better to keep rook on e2. He can play g5, however, but okay, somewhere f5 can be weak square. If I in future will transfer knight, it will be great progress. Probably now rook c2 I can consider. So probably gs3 was stronger, by the way. But I played rook c2, he took, and played knight e5. Now we can see that if I take, he is taking, I cannot play g3 anymore, and after h3, okay, my dark squares are weak, and only strange that only black can play for win in this position. For example, this try to penetrate somewhere to g3. So okay, but why I need to take? Okay, he has threat to play h3 in some moment. f4 is possible, but if f4, some tactical ideas, knight g4 or knight c4 is possible. Maybe knight c4 is stronger with two threats. Knight e3 or knight d2. If king e2, rook a2 is unpleasant somehow. Okay, probably it's playable, but for example, if this knight a3 also, it's big problem for me because after rook c1, bishop b2 is coming, so I cannot relax in this position. So okay, I can admit that you never relax when you are playing uh, at all. Okay, maybe after knight c4, rook e1 is better, This idea rook e2 after bishop c3. Okay, objectively, I think white has winning chances, but black has contraplay somewhere h3 and rook a2 is coming. So why need white need to be extremely precise, but maybe f4 was the best move. Okay, I played bishop d1. So not so stupid idea looks like, because I'm defending against h3. Now my pawn f3 is defended. After h3 I can play g3. Okay, but rook a2. So again h3 is threat, knight c4 is threat, so bishop e2, logical. Okay, it looks like I consolidate my position, and objectively it's true, but we'll see. Knight d7. Oh, what is this? Looks like black is not so active as before. But now I'm starting to play g3, so I want to realize my plan to play g3, f4, e5 as soon as possible. But maybe mm, this is a bad understanding of position. So during the game, I didn't realize that I have problem my knight on c6, and before solving this problem, I cannot be totally quiet about my position. So probably it was yeah, correct moment to play knight b4 and transfer knight to d3. After, for example, rook d2, okay, I can play rook d1. Okay, but here probably he can take and bishop e5, and not so pleasant because I cannot play g3 anymore, so this is drawish already. So probably knight d3, it's the best choice, and to prepare rook d1. And now my knight, for example, here it's stronger than on c6, because on f2 he is on play, and on c6 he is out of play. It's paradox, but I didn't understand this, so I played g3, knight c5. Again, knight b4 was logical idea. After rook d2 to play rook d1, after rook b2 to play knight d3, and something like this, and white still has some winning chances, although it's very difficult to win in this position. For example, after takes g5, no close for the. But okay, I played rook c1. Oh, e5 is my threat. But okay, it's hard to believe that Magnus will miss e5. So he played knight b3. And okay, I came back. So move repetition. So knight c5. Okay, I don't think that I would repeat moves. So probably after knight c5, objectively, I have pawn up. Objectively, I should play knight d4. Again, I need to understand that knight on c6 is weak piece. So I need to improve this. So knight d4 looks like very logical idea to prepare knight b5. If bishop e5, okay, if bishop e5, also f4 is possible in this position. If knight a4, knight b5 is possible. So here instead of rook c1, I didn't repeat because my rook firstly was b1. Okay, so I played this, so probably I expected something like this. Or maybe, I don't know, e5, d6. Okay, e5, d6 doesn't work, I think, because black can maybe block my pawns. So it doesn't bring me winning chances. Of course, I'm out of any risk, but okay, he plays h3. Again, very practical decision. So it looks like h3 pawn can be weak, but okay, he has rook on a2, and somewhere he has ideas that it's possible to attack my pawn h2. Okay, it doesn't work if I'm playing good. But again, I'm very far from understanding this position. So I played king f2. Again, knight before was the strongest idea. Attack active rook and prepare knight d3, knight f2 to attack h3 pawn. And now probably I have good winning chances. I don't know. For example, rook b2, knight d3, rook c2, knight f2. The pawn is attacked. Okay, but maybe not now, this, because if king g1, knight takes e4 is possible. If king e1, bishop c3 is unpleasant, so not so easy probably again. So maybe knight f4 is more precise. But again, knight d2 checks, so it's a difficult position to play in time trouble. So I played king f2. Okay, so my idea is clear. So I want to play f4 and e5. Immediately f4 was impossible because knight d2 check and knight e4. So I was very happy with my position, and suddenly bishop b2. Total separation. What is this? Oh, I didn't understand. But okay, I'm fine in this position, but again, I need to demonstrate understanding. So before move, attack the rook. If rook a2, consolidate position. So, but I played f4. Seems like active, and suddenly bishop a3. So when he played bishop b2, the only possible idea is to play something like this. Mm, what I was planning. Also, after knight c1, it's a good question. Because if rook d2, he has bishop d4 check. I cannot play king e1 because bishop c3. After this, I'm losing h2 pawn. Okay, I have my trumps as well, so because d1, e5 is coming. Okay, maybe it's good for me. But bishop a3. I played king e1. So the problem, if e5, bishop c5, I cannot play king f3 because knight d2 check and knight e4 very unpleasant for me. And he has many threats. Okay, if e1, bishop f2. Okay, maybe it's good for me also after rook e1. Maybe I can play rook e1 because after bishop f2 I have bishop c4. So maybe it was correct idea to play e5. But now knight c1. If knight c1, okay, knight c1, knight d4, although knight d4, bishop c5. What is this? So again, sudden. Okay, rook takes c1 and e takes d6. Also, maybe simple refutation. So this. Now I'm just winning because he cannot stop my pawn without. Tough material loses. So knight c1 doesn't work. So, but during the game, I remember e5, bishop c5, king f3, knight d2, and knight e4. I was afraid, but now I see that probably I afraid ghost because after rook e1, I'm totally good. It's important bishop f2, bishop c4. So probably e5 was actually very strong move. But maybe he can take immediately. But if he takes, I have d6. d6. Maybe d6 is possible. I don't know. Knight c1, and now rook takes c1 and d6 less convincing because bishop g5. So I cannot realize this idea. Rook e1 I cannot play because knight d3, of course. So if knight d4, my problem is bishop c5. And this position I cannot play at least for a win. Maybe I'm even worse here, strangely enough. So I played king e1, looks logical, but okay, bishop c5. I played e5 and suddenly bishop g1. Incredible contraplay. I play e takes d6. Well, I don't know. Maybe again knight b4. So I didn't remember about my knight during this game. So in final stage, not only final, also in opening because I didn't play knight f5. Probably it was another night also. Okay, is it everything? If chat not writing anything, so I am worried if everything is okay with chat, with my stream. Can somebody confirm that everything is okay? Okay, good. So knight b, but okay, I took on d6. Looks very tempting because if bishop g3, I calculate d7, bishop takes, king f1, if h2, king g2, something like this I calculated during the game, and probably this is good for me. For example, this, bishop f6, bishop f3, something like this. But suddenly knight c5, totally unexpected. And I cannot defend my pawn on h2. I played rook c1, very bad move. So knight b4 was last chance to play. And after knight b4, I'm quite well, at least I'm playing without any risk because I'm ready to play knight d3. For example, if rook b2, knight d3, knight takes d3, well, rook takes d3. Good square for rook because my pawn h2 is protected. I am ready to d7, so after knight b4, I still have winning chances here. So correct plan, knight b4, knight d3. But I played rook c1, terrible mistake. And he took on h2, and now suddenly I cannot do anything against his pawn. King f1 is losing because h2, if bishop f3, rook f2. So king d1, my last chance. h2, bishop f3, rook f2. So I am losing. So what I can do? So I am losing, but in this position I started to play strangely enough. So I played rook c2. It doesn't help, but it was my last chance. And now black is winning. Well, for example, they can simply take. And after this, he can take on h2. Also possible rook d3, very strong move. But maybe just a moment. Yes, rook d3 is very strong move because if I played rook d2, he can just take here and take on d6 with winning position. And if I'm not taking, if I'm not playing rook e2, so king e2 or king c2, he can just take on d5 where I am losing my pawns, and so black is winning here. So after rook takes f3, he is winning. but also possible bishop takes h2. Now if d7 again, he can play rook d3, rook d5, and take and win it easily. So d7 doesn't work. So my plan was king f2 to play, but now black can simply take on f4. I have no chances to survive in this position. So it's example how it was possible to lost with pawn up against Magnus. If king takes f3, bishop takes d6. If d7, black has rook e3 check, king f2, bishop g5. And again, I'm losing this 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 bishop c7. Black should win in this position. But Magnus played rook f1, king e2, and now he still could win, but rook f2, because king d1 only move. If king d3, he's taking my bishop with check. King e3 doesn't help because he's just taking and playing bishop h4 and totally winning. So rook f2 was strong move, and this is winning move. But after king d1, he can come back to this line, and now bishop takes h3 or rook d2, both wins. But rook takes f3. This is mistake I took. So now it's position more close to draw, because there are not many pawns in the board, and I have good chances to make fortress. Knight e5, queen takes d6. Of course, I need to be careful. Somewhere g5 can be threat, but okay, rook c6, I played normal move. This knight f3. I'm trying to make fortress. f6, rook c4. Nothing special. b8, rook g8. So, of course, rook takes g6 is not threat because king takes e4, but anyway, I'm waiting what he will do. So, for example, after this, I don't know, probably rook e8 is bad choice, but of course not this. Not okay. He played king e4. Practically, it was mistake. He played king f5. More chances black has to keep king somewhere on d6 with idea somewhere to play. Uh, I want to explain what can black try if rook will go back, something like this. Okay, not queen d6 immediately. Okay, something like this. Okay, queen c7 and prepare g5 without exchange. So this is the best practical chance for black, not exchange the pawns. But he made mistake. He played king f5. It looks like a very active. Looks like very active position for king, but actually it's very bad position for king, because now king is in mating net, and after rook e2, black cannot leave third line with queen, because the king immediately will be checkmated, knight h4 or knight d4. So only way to make free king is to play g5, but g5 is exchange of pawns, and it means draw. So queen d3, rook e1. I am waiting. Queen d6. Of course, if takes immediately, rook e5 and rook takes g5. But queen d6, he is still fighting. F takes g5. And now, good question. So rook I played rook f1 because I was sure that it will be draw. Big question if I have rook e5. So I have seen this idea, but it seemed me very dangerous in time trouble. But probably, I mean, to take the pawn. So I calculated this during the game, but what I have seen during the game was queen c6, rook g3, queen c2 check, king h3, queen f2. I had illusion that I am losing now, but this is not true because rook g4 check and rook f4 and draw, stalemate. So probably I can just take. So I don't see how black can win in this position. But maybe they can. No, or not. I don't. I mean, this was my another idea. Now, if rook g3, queen e2 check, and now queen f1 is winning. Now it's winning. But after queen d3, I have rook g4, and this is draw immediately because if this knight e5, if king e3, I can do anything. At least 92. So probably he cannot win in this position. I don't see how he can win, but okay, I played much better from practical point of view. So because it's very narrow escape in this line. I just played rook f1, so my idea to block his pawn somewhere. So knight should is going to g3, queen d5, rook f2, king h5. g3 immediately not possible, of course, because I'm just taking and rook g2 is coming. So king h5. So yes, this is fortress. Okay, we can. It's the easiest way to check with Dalibov table basis how many pieces. 6 pieces. Yes, 6 pieces. But I am sure that this is draw. Again, g3, knight g3. So he is trying to do something, but queen b6. If g3, rook g2. And it's important to know there is a theoretical position, just this position, but white has a bishop on f1 instead of knight. And this is a draw as well. So black can not win in this position. If white has bishop on f1, not knight. So white is just playing rook g2 and rook e2, and black cannot do anything. So it's important to know such position. It's theoretical position. And now also draw, black cannot do anything. So for example, this, king h3 was threat. Now I want to take with rook, so black can try to improve his queen, but now stop it. They have no e3 square, so rook takes g3 is coming. So, okay, queen b6, he's still playing, but I am following time, so almost took swan. After queen f4, I have only move rook g1, but it's almost, so it's not actual swan. So we are playing, and he gets same position. Yes, rook g1 I played, and 50 moves, draw. So such a an interesting game. So I hope to play again against Magnus. It's really interesting. But very important not play before such a game, such a bad game like against Eric Hansen, and to be in. So I will show what happens. Just a moment. Against Eric Hansen, he played bishop g5. I was black. I played d6. Now the main line, according to theory, take on f6. If e takes f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, g3, castle, bishop g2, something like this. f5, e3, knight d7, knight g2. This is. But he played knight c3. I played knight d7, e4, e5, knight f3. It's very strange that I played Hanem variation. So I mean this slide. E4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, e5, knight f3, knight bd7, bishop c4, bishop e7, castle, castle. And now nobody playing bishop g5 because it looks like stupid move. So usually white is playing rook e1 or a4, something like this, or h3. But bishop g5 looks stupid, but he played actually bishop g5, and suddenly, at least I cannot refute this move. So I wanted to refute somehow, but it doesn't work. So bishop g5, it's not the best, but it's not actually a bad move, surprisingly for me. So I played c6, a4. So yes, g6, bishop f6, yes, it's another possible line, yes. But after g6, white can play also knight c3 without taking on f6, and now black has choice d5 is possible, or bishop g7, e4, d6 is possible to play in pierce. Okay, g6, nothing wrong, yes. Yes, now after c4, black has d5, right. Okay, so I had this position. So I wanted to realize some ideas, knight takes e4 and d5, but doesn't work. So I played castle, castle. Again, I considered this d5, but at least it's not clear. White has a bit big choice. For example, this now even rook e1 is possible. Maybe even this is possible. If e4, rook e1, if d takes c4, knight takes c4, so it was possible idea. Okay, so I decided to play h6. So he played bishop a3. Okay, it looks like he just lost tempo because h6 is normal move in such type of position. I played rook e8. So now I'm preparing bishop f8. So he has no knight g5 idea. He played rook e1, another normal move, and okay, so nothing happened. I should play something like bishop f8 or queen c7 or a5, something like this. But I played knight g4, bishop c1, and now probably the best choice was just come back to f6 and play this position. But I took on d4 like in King's Indian. But it's not King's Indian because I have no uh, pawn on g6. I mean, what I mean, I mean this idea, of course. probably not everybody understand what I mean, so it's better to explain on the board. So I mean something like this motif. But now we can see difference that f5 square, it's better to flip board. f5 square, white has no f5 square for his knight, but in my game white has this square. It's a big difference. Of course, it wasn't that I missed knight f5. I have seen knight f5, but I had illusion. Okay, knight f5, knight can be attacked. I have two possibilities: knight b6 or knight e5, and but okay, actually he played knight f5, and suddenly I'm really bad. Uh, why? I'm bad because it looks like after bishop takes c3, I am totally nice and knight e5. Now it's a good position for me. That's true because he cannot take on d6 with knight because queen h4 is coming immediately or after taking. Now queen h4, but and if he is playing bishop e2, okay, again queen h4 is possible and very strong. But even without queen h4, if knight f6, black is totally okay. But of course, queen h4. But the problem is that bishop c3, queen takes g4. I cannot do it. And he has so many threats. So not b takes c3, but queen takes g4. But okay, I have seen this when I played bishop f6. But my idea was that I can play if knight e5, bishop e2. I have unpleasant problem with my knight on g4 because f6 square is occupied. I can not go back. So, but during the game, I had ideas that I can play this, so this and this, and surely I will have compensation. I was sure that compensation because bishop f5 is threat, so he needs to play some move with bishop. I will take on f5, then probably will take some pawn on c3 on a4, or at least occupy c4 square, but I totally forgot about queen h5 check, and after this I'm just losing. So I played knight b6, he took on f7. Okay, but so I'm not Magnus, so he, he lost b3 pawn, and to demonstrate incredible resistance against me. I made mistake and I lost immediately. So I played this and play queen f6, and after queen h5 it's possible to resign because after g6 knight h6 I played this and game is over. So I played like total patzer in this game. Uh, okay, even this not always was missed. This was correct choice, and now of course correct choice was this and queen f6. Of course it's not pleasant, I'm pawn down, but I have quite a good chances to survive in this position because I have c4 square for knight, and okay, I have good pawn structure. Okay, white is better, I agree, but it's a lot of play, so was no reason to lost immediately such a position, but I did it. So and, I was incredibly stressed before the playing Magnus. But I'm happy that I demonstrated a good resistance and made draw against him. Even I had good winning chances several times. So this was terrible game. And unfortunately, I played some terrible games in this tournament. Also against Niemann, for example. It was totally collapse. But okay, I hope it will be a useful experience for me and also for my listeners. I hope they will not repeat my mistakes. Okay, so I think for today the main program is finished. If somebody has any wishes or any questions, I can consider them. No questions. Is it at least is everything fine? Everybody can hear me and see me. Next tournament for you, I don't know. New big name from India, I don't know. Okay, there are many strong players. I don't know who is the strongest now. So now it's easy. If Queen d6, Bishop a3, or if Rook e5, he can simply play Queen f3. Game is over. I'm 2 pawns down. Another game, of course, I can, but not today, probably next time. Дякую, прошу, приємно, що слухаєте. Best game. I hope in future. I hope I will play somewhere. I didn't play yet. Next tournament or next match. Okay, maybe I will play in World Team Championship in Jerusalem for Ukraine, but it's still not sure. We will discuss about it in Israel in November. Normal classical chess. Maybe I will play. Who is stronger between Pick Kasparov and Pick Carlsen? I don't know. Difficult to say. Both are very strong. Title Tuesday, I will consider maybe. Okay, it will depends how I will feel myself. Okay, maybe on Tuesday. Title Tuesday I will try to play. Maybe. So, what I have 10:30 p.m. So time to relax and go to sleep slowly. Okay, goodbye. Thanks for your attention. About Niemann's situation, what is Niemann's situation? Okay, okay. So goodbye.